Introducing the Poet Life Podcast. Go check it out today on your favorite platforms, including iTunes, Apple Music, and the website, thepoetlife.com.
Find a way.
Hey, I am Christoph Jenkins of the Poet Life Podcast, and I am super excited on this evening to be speaking with The Truth, the Poet. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great. You know, the folks listening and watching, they don't know, but we've been talking for the past 10 minutes, and I had to pause and hold that thought because the conversation was getting good already. And I said, just like, so we don't have to repeat ourselves, let's just go ahead and jump in. And I think I asked you, as I asked other guests, to find out where our direction, you know, is going in this conversation. And I asked you if you could teach a class concerning your experience and all of what you've been able to accomplish in the poetry industry, what would be that topic, that theme of that class?
Okay, so like I was telling you, I do teach already, and so I do creative writing workshops. I do poetry performance workshops, but the one that I would love to do is the artist to entrepreneur seminars or workshops. I think that's very important for artists to know where they stand as either if they could even be an artist entrepreneur, or if they just stick to their artistry and let someone else run their business.
That's so good, because like I was saying offline, I really didn't think of it like that, at least that side of it, you know, because my thing is you're treated a lot different when you're a business as opposed to an individual. You know what I'm saying? You know, businesses like to operate B2B, you know, and business to business, and a lot of times when you're an individual, a lot of times you can get taken advantage of. But from your perspective, that manager or that person that is looking out for you can be that business savvy mind to protect you in a lot of ways.
Right, absolutely. I mean, we watch it on a day-to-day basis when we're looking at regular artists day to day, and a poet is no different. So, you know, as artists, your free flowers, you do what you feel. That is not necessarily accurate in business. You can't just do what you feel, and you know what I mean. You have to. There's a lot of fine print we don't understand, and we think we can just do. You think you can just do what you want, nor are a lot of artists just ready to be business savvy.
Right.
They don't have the attention span for it. The go-getter mentality to just, you know, switch their brains from artists to, I need to focus on this. I need to articulate it this way. I need to do the research for this, you know, to get into all that. And that's by all means okay. You know, that's by all means okay. But you need to understand what is necessary for you to be prominent in whatever you want to do. And sometimes that includes a representative for yourself. Like I was telling you, people need Poet Life. You know, people need, a lot of artists need someone to put them on the platforms. And they'll kill the platform. They just need that catalyst. And it's okay.
Cool. Yeah, no, that's very true. Now, let me play devil's advocate a bit, because even though they may not be the person, the manager, right? I still think they still need to be an entity, just like if I start a business and I'm not the best CEO, right? I can hire a CEO and let them run my company.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't, then what name is the money going, and what accounts are the money going into? You know what I'm saying?
And that's what the thing is about. That's why artists and entrepreneurs seminars and workshops are necessary, because
Clarity.
then you understand the clarity. You understand what you need to be doing, because and what's your role when you are seeking a manager, because you are hiring them. They work for you.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not like you're under them, unless it is a like Poet Life. It's almost like signing up to a label. You know what I mean? And knowing your standards. Go into that knowing what you want to do. Maybe you just want to do the event. Maybe you don't want to be a part of their whole entity. Now, what does that contract look like? You know, and being able to like find the differences between committing wholeheartedly in your whole artist self, or what freelancing looks like, or what a manager looks like and how they can help you. So knowing the differences between all of those things and seeing what's best for you and how you fit in that. Because some people need a home, some people need a manager to roam as they please, and some people just know how to manage themselves. And they just need a little bit more information on what that looks like you were saying, the classes that you offer, how to get residencies and things like that. There are a lot of artists who are doing a lot on their own, but they don't have that particular knowledge. So then where to find that knowledge, and then how to increase your business on your own as you continue to move forward, because residencies are important. They keep you stable as an artist versus always hustling to find work. You know, so and I've been in all positions. So, and that's the thing, because I've been in all positions, I know how you'll go broke fast. I know how you'll get up quick. I know, you know, all of these little things about what it takes to really be an artist entrepreneur, you know.
Got you. So what's the name of your company, production company?
So my production company is called Raw Poetry Productions. And you know, it's really based on productions, doing productions and creating different experiences. It's not the typical showcases. It's not just having one artist there to just do their thing. No, we're collaborating all the arts to make it something special, something you probably never seen before. You know, taking poetry to another level, because I've loved poetry forever. But to be honest, poetry can be monotonous if you're just sitting there listening to someone talk all for 2 hours. So how do we make poetry interesting? Because poetry is the base for everything. It's like water. You know, it's like the base of art. You know, without these words and without this poem, you know, music wouldn't flow the way it does. A lot of things just wouldn't happen. So let's show how let's show how big it really is. I feel like sometimes we stagnate our art, and then Raw Poetry Productions is about branching it all out and working with people, because I believe going far, you can do a lot alone, but you will do definitely more with other people.
For sure. Yeah. No, that's the truth. It is the truth. And I've only been blessed to see photos and videos of your productions. I'm a little housebound right now with 3 little daughters, 6 and under, you know. So you know, so I don't really get to get out too often, but I do plan to come and see some of your productions, because the reviews and the photos and the videos look amazing, and you work with a lot of the artists that I know, and I know they're dope. So you know, they don't associate with things and people that are not dope. So yeah, and I'm excited to experience your next experience, you know. And as a matter of fact, for an exclusive for those listening and watching, give me the name of your company again.
Raw Poetry Productions.
Raw Poetry Productions are being commissioned to create an experience for the Poet Life Fest January 29th. That could be my first experience. I'm really excited about that, right? To house it. It's gonna be dope. So
I'm excited about that. It's gonna be fun. I can't wait.
I'm sure. I am very sure. That's why I was like, okay. I think initially I was like, all right, let me get the truth on the podcast. Then I was like, hold on, we got the fest coming up. Let me see if it's possible for her to put something together for the festival. And you obliged, and I can't wait. I can't wait. It's next week. If you're in the DMV, come and check that out. If you're not, fly out, drive out, come through.
Come through.
Please do.
It's a vibe.
Hold on a second. What's going on with my camera? Why are you acting up, camera? All right, cool. So how long have you been in the poetry industry? What's that look like for you?
Since I was 14. I've been doing poetry pretty much all my life. The first time I ever was on stage, I performed a poem, and I was 5 years old doing a talent show. And I was reading somebody else's poem, but that's all I knew. Poetry was other people's poems, right? So, that's how long I've been in love with poetry, and I've been writing since 10, and I didn't know what perform. I knew I was going to be on stage doing something because, like I said, I like all of the arts. Whether it was dancing, acting, being a comedian, I don't care what it was. I knew I was going to be on stage. But I just loved poetry so much that, I mean, to me, poetries are like rhyming monologues. So I just, and so with that mind frame, and that's why Raw Poetry Productions became what it was, because of all of the things that I wanted to do. It started there. And when somebody said, I was looking for different things to do, looking at the book festival and things like that, and a couple of my mentors finding something, and they found a poetry competition at a library, and it was a slam. And I was just like, okay, me and my best friend went, we did the slam. I came in first place, and luckily there were other local poets there, like Love the Poet, Femi the Dry Fish, and all of them, and they just grabbed me and showed me the whole Baltimore scene and what that was. And I was gone. My first open mic, I was 18. I was hosting already. I was doing so much a long time ago, and then life happens as it does. Got a basketball scholarship, went to Iowa, got, you know what I mean, and then came back, and I wasn't on the scene, and I would come out here and there, but I didn't work. Like I was learning how to grow up. And then I made the decision one day to stop helping everybody else live their lives and live my own. And once I started, my birthday came, I went to an open mic, and then I never stopped. And then I started shutting everything down for a whole year, just going places and just killing every stage I could, everything I could do, until I came out with my book, started doing the productions, my visions, without telling people what it was. I just started trying everything. And then I was able to leave my job. And then it was no stopping once I left. It was like I made the decision to do this for life.
What job did you have?
I was working as a machine operator at a place called Becton and Dickinson. It's a place where people stay and retire. I looked up and I didn't want to stay there for 5 years. I looked and I was on my 9th year. And I was like, there is no way possible I'm going to make it to 10. I cannot stay here for 10 years. You will not make me complacent with a life that is not meant for me, And I was getting into that I don't care type of feeling. When I'm thinking about starting to fuss everybody out, and because they were doing things like, oh, you're going to work every day and you're going to come in here on Sunday. You're going to. When you start telling me what I'm going to do, no, I can't handle that. So
Yeah.
I got out of there. But
Yeah.
I mean, I was also following my passion, and I had put some things in position to where I was ready for that to make that move. You don't just I mean, some people would just jump out there, but I don't advise to just leaving thinking
No,
you're gonna just
no.
do this.
That popular I think Steve Harvey brought that up, just jump or something like that. When you make statements like that, you have to give disclaimers.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Don't jump without a parachute, please.
Right. Right.
Unless you like torture,
Yeah. Or you like death. You know what I mean? Jumping
right.
without a parachute, you gonna die.
Yeah, you might be resurrected or whatever, but
Right.
you
That,
gonna die.
that still takes a long time. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, for sure. It's just not wise.
No.
Let's keep it right there. It's just not wise. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? As you get older, you should learn that wisdom is key.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Um, we make these dumb quote unquote decisions when we're young. Let us keep those decisions at a young age and
Right.
not get into an old age of still making those type of decisions, especially when you have responsibilities like maybe a wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, kids, where they can become collateral damage in your bad decisions.
Right.
So Iowa, what did I don't even know if I know anyone that lives in Iowa. How was that?
Uh, extreme.
Culture shock?
Extreme culture shock. I did not like Iowa at all. I mean, it was, when you come from a big city and you're used to a lot of people and you go to a remote area with nobody. I mean, the only black people there were everybody who played sports and a lot to you not runaway Africans who were trying to get education.
Wow.
Everybody else was white. And then to me it was pretty much modern day slavery. I learned what the politics of basketball was. There was no love for the sport. All the love was exerted from me and taken and thrown away. And, you came in, you come off the pick, you make the shot, you sit down. And you do that. And if you miss, there's a problem. There is no missing. You don't miss the shot. And there will be torture to follow if you do. You are called everything under the sun. You are treated like a slave. Like, this is what you get up and do. You wake up at 6 a.m, you do this. I mean, we woke up before 6, been in the gym without breakfast. They didn't even make breakfast yet. We were getting dizzy. He's all right, let's go to breakfast. We already practiced 2 hours. Go eat breakfast. We going back in the gym. Another 2 hours. Things that are unlawfully, the things that are against the law happened. And I just, and you could switch colleges. You could do all of that. And then,
Right.
but there's no guarantee. A lot of these colleges do the same thing, but
You're a
it
product.
was a learning experience. I would never say I would have done it again. I loved basketball just as much as I had loved poetry. That's where I initially got my name from. People were calling me that for basketball, but I just felt like that was way too arrogant, and I rather do it for poetry because that's what I talk about. It's just different for me, but it's real for me. It's more real in poetry than it is in basketball. So, but yes.
Did that experience deter you away from basketball, or did you keep on playing?
I got hurt in the first year due to the coach, tore my ACL. And so that I never wanted to touch a ball again once I left. I didn't touch a ball for years. And but I mean there was still some love there in the sport because I like teach my nephews and things like that. But I you know, where I used to want to be a coach and where I used to do that a lot prior to going, I came back and a lot of people were asking me to coach, and I said no, I don't want to. I don't want to touch a ball. I don't want to do it at all. But right now now I'm in a better place. I'm off that, so it's more. I do it for fun. I have a love for basketball still my favorite sport out of all sports. That competition edge. Anytime I want to get that off, I do it through basketball. So that's my thing. Still,
Wow, I didn't know that.
yeah,
That's cool. That's cool. Was that a scholarship or?
yeah, it was a scholarship.
Okay, gotcha. What was that? Iowa State? What was that?
Iowa Western. So Iowa State, I ended up going to JUCO. Iowa
Okay,
State, I got recruited that year, my last year of high school. So Iowa State couldn't recruit me automatically just because it was my last year. They've already recruited for the year. So
gotcha.
they sent me to the JUCO, and then I would go to Iowa State. And Iowa State had a creative writing major, which is something a lot of colleges don't have. So I was excited. I was like, oh man, I'm killing two birds with one stone. I'm gonna
Right.
go here and do everything I love, because basketball was really only a catalyst to get to poetry. I wanted to use the money, go overseas and create the theaters and everything that I wanted with that money. That was my plans initially, and plans changed, but I'm still doing what I love.
Dope. So after college, you then went and got that job, or?
Yeah, then I just got a regular job. It was struggle time. It was
Yeah.
struggle time. Came back home. I was doing Royal Farms and Dollar Tree in different jobs until I got to be. So it was coming out it was a struggle. And then
Yeah.
I'm 19 on my own. I came back home, and it was no going back home to mom. You
Right.
know, there was strictly by myself. Now, luckily, I had a village.
Yeah.
I was doing what I had to, but it was definitely a struggle. So
Sure.
but I ended up getting on my feet, and like I said, been on my own since then. So like you said, making those decisions to just jump out there with no parachute, I didn't have that. I can't. There was no house to go and like rely on. All
Yeah.
I could rely on was myself.
We at The Poet Life are excited to invite you to be a part of something that we've all been longing for. For far too long, each and every one of us have been searching for a way to get connected with like-minded people, specifically poets who have the desire to make poetry their career. We've all heard more than once from more than one person that there is no money in poetry. This couldn't be further from the truth. Your poetry is invaluable. Allow us to show you how successful you can be with your poetry. Learn how you can go from being an individual poet to launching a business that offers poetry as a service. Join us as we build the poetry industry together. The Poetry Business Network that is made of poets from all over the world who are looking to start their career in the poetry industry or simply do more with their poetry. We will meet twice a week on a Zoom call every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You will have the opportunity to meet and network with poets from all walks of life. You will also have the privilege of meeting and learning from the best professional poets in the world. Many of them have been guests on the Poet Life podcast. We have also incorporated a book club where we read personal development books to help us change our mindset. In order for us to realize our greatness as professional poets, we must renew our minds. So, for just $1, you can check out the Poetry Business Network to see if you like it. We are confident that you will. If you choose to become a member after the first week, membership will be $79 a month. But if for whatever reason you don't, you can cancel at any time. There is no obligation. So, make the investment of just $1 and change the way you see and pursue poetry. We hope you become a part of the Poetry Business Network. Together, we can build the poetry industry.
Yeah. Our generation didn't really have I have to choose my words carefully. But our generation didn't really have the mentors when it comes to entrepreneurship.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of our elders, their generation was you work a job
Mm-hmm.
and you go to college, you work a job, and you be there at that job or another job after that until you retire,
Mm-hmm.
right? And entrepreneurship, like, literally wasn't, you know, it's a side gig, but not too many of our generation is aspiring to be simply an entrepreneur
Yes.
and pass it down that mindset to their children. So we didn't have that mindset, right? Growing up, and so when we leave college or leave for college, we're kind of figuring it out, bumping our heads, you
Mm-hmm.
know, this idea that jumping from idea to idea. I think I've started every business known to man,
Yeah.
almost literally, and so, but when one has a mentor that says, yes, that's a great idea,
Mm-hmm.
uh, stick with it. Don't just hop to the next idea that you have in your head,
Mm-hmm.
because you're excited when you first start the business, right? But when it gets to that mundane, dry period, and it's just the work.
Yeah.
All right, let me hop on to the next shiny idea I have. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We waste a lot of time with that.
Yeah.
When you have a mentor that's been through it and has done that, then they can share with you the shortcuts and the secrets and
Mm-hmm.
kind of accelerate your time in this lane.
Mm-hmm.
So it's our turn, it's our responsibility to do that for others now.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
Because I had to learn the hard way. I had to learn by watching businesses.
Yep. Mhm.
There was, like you said, there was nobody really teaching. Even how to create a platform. I just watched people do it. And so then I had to figure it out, ask the questions and figure it out. Now I would love to make it more easier. That's the
Mhm.
plan, make it easier and
That's
more accessible for the other artists coming. So I totally agree with you on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
With your production company, do you do some of that? I know you book and commission artists to perform at your productions. Do you also do artist development?
So what I do is that is available. Yes, I will do development. How I do it is more through personal classes right now.
Good. Gotcha.
What I would love to have, like Raw Poetry Productions, everybody thinks it's a magnitude of people who
Mhm.
created Raw Poetry Productions, and it's really just me.
Yeah.
It's really just everything that I know and how to put people here and there, how to bring the people where they need to be, put people. So it's a lot, But what I do is I put them, even they're not just on the Raw Poetry Production stage. When I get corporate gigs, they get corporate gigs. I keep
Oh, wow.
corporate gigs because I can offer so much.
Mhm.
It's just not poetry. When you need a singer, I got you. When you need a musician, I have you. When you need a motivational speaker, I know them. I know I'm so plugged in with all of these people but then how do what they're going to pay is way above the scale of what you're going to find locally in your communities,
Mhm.
just going to the underground. So they're paying thousands.
Mhm.
Everybody's going to eat.
Yeah.
And everybody's going to eat healthy. We're going to have good meals. And that was the point, to show you that you can be a full-time artist without feeling the need that you need to be a mainstream artist.
Right.
Because you could feed off of this stuff all day. You could do a school tour and be making guap. You know what I'm saying? And you could do 2 shows for the year and not have to touch another stage if you know what you're doing. But how do you get those gigs? What does that look like? And again, knowing who needs to represent you. At times you might need somebody else who don't look like you to talk to some people just to get yourself where you need to be. But it's all, do what you have to do, So
I'm glad you mentioned that, and I know we're on this, pro-Black movement and it all, but even in the civil rights movement, we leveraged our allies, right? What was the name of that movie? It's on Apple. I forgot the name of it, but it's about bankers, right? It's a Black-owned bank, but they were being blackballed, for lack of better words, because they were Black. So they leveraged their relationships with some white guys, and they made them the face of the bank, right? So they can build the relationships with those folks who are racist, that were discriminating against the Black folks. And they were able to flourish that way. But, even so now it's just like, I get it. But again, use wisdom.
Right.
A lot of times it is best to operate with whoever can get the job done. I love employing and deploying my people. But what I'm not going to do is not work with other people when I can get the job done and put me in a better place to hire more of my people. You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking slowly because you still got to choose your words carefully.
Yeah, I
understand.
Know
what I'm saying? Because for real, like,
yeah,
those responses and stuff like that, but I just choose because at some point it becomes small-minded at some point. You know what I'm saying? So I am willing and open to work with people who do not look like me, so I can continue to help people who look like me, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. My whole thing with that is to work with good people.
Good people.
Yeah. No matter what they look like. The only way we're going to change the narrative of what we want to change is by being the example of that. If we want people to love us for who we are, we must also love others for who they are.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean, disowning every color or every race we walk by. You know what I mean? That means loving on good people.
Yeah.
If they're good to you, what's the problem? There should be no problems if they're good people. If they're bad people, remove them.
Exactly.
And they're bad people in all colors and shapes and forms, just like there are good people in all colors, shapes, and forms. And like you said, I am who I am all day. The color ain't going nowhere. I would never bleach myself. I'm not, I love who I am, and I'm going to always help my people, whoever is around me, as long as they are good people. But there will only be good people in my circle. And as soon as I find out that you're not, you got to go. There's I have in my poem, it says, I know more brown rice Triscuit crackers than I know saltines. So, I've had a lot of people who are my color treat me more racist than another. And that's been in corporate. they will downplay me just to be put in a position. And I've had another race come and take me higher and put me in a great position.
Mm-hmm.
So should I have not taken that position because of what color they were? No. Use it to the best of your abilities, and surround yourself with great and good people, kind spirits, and that's all that you should ever be worried about.
Yeah. It's wisdom and open-mindedness. You will not get far being closed-minded at all. Period.
Absolutely.
You and I are very similar, in many ways, and I can appreciate that. I remember, what was it? The convention center. I booked you to perform with these kids. It was you in Charity, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, that was
amazing.
That was our first time. That was our first time working together.
That was our first time.
Yeah. And again, that was just what I've seen online, and I was like, these two ladies here are dope. I have to call upon them, and y'all showed out, man.
Yeah.
Y'all showed out. The response from the client was just like, they were great.
That's awesome. They were
chaos in there, wasn't it? It was like, how many kids were in there? I was like, I don't know what y'all gonna do, but
I know.
Have at it.
But see, I love kids. Kids are if I could do what I would love to do, is to do kids poetry production where it's just all kids. That's what I'm aiming to do because they listen way better than adults, and they're fun. They are fun. I would love to do that, but kids are amazing. So when you said it, I was like, kids?
Yeah.
I'm all for it. They're sponges. They're just beautiful sponges.
I got an idea for you that you just sparked in my head. So in the summer, I want to do for the first time Poet Life Camp.
Okay.
Yeah. And I literally would give you, that open range to create the curriculum and the overall ending production, where the kids, I think that would be dope. We can partner on that.
Absolutely. Because I love to let the kids be, even if they're going to indulge in poetry, but I want them to be themselves, whatever little bit whatever art they have, and teach them how it all connects to poetry.
No,
so
I'm glad you said that. Because for me, it's deeper than poetry. Like, poetry is the vehicle to so many other things.
Yes.
It can drive you to find yourself, release all of the stuff that you've been hoarding and building up within that you have not released because you will not talk to somebody, a lot of reasons, but one of the main reasons is you feel like that next person can't relate to what you're going through. So just hold it in, but what people don't realize is there's another way to release. There's art, there's writing, there's music, and you don't even realize that when you're practicing that art, that you're actually releasing all of the stuff from within.
Right.
So like I said, I'm glad you said that, is because it is so important to use leverage something that will help you release. So when I work with kids, even when I work with adults, it's not all poetry. It is all right. Let's talk about what's going on. Like, and let me just listen. Let me listen to you. Right. And oh, okay, cool. So that's what's happening right now. Okay. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's sad. All right. So now that we talked about it, let's put some down on paper.
Right.
And we don't even have to rhyme a word.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? But talking, writing, drawing, you know, singing, if you could sing, you know, makes you think about what's going on the inside without even knowing that you're thinking about it.
Right.
You know, it's like just shaking everything in or from within, to where it just comes out through the exercise that you're doing. You don't even realize it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I get that so much, and with all of the stuff that the kids are going through right now, man, I can't even imagine, really.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to be in kindergarten and you're online, like,
yeah. And you're forced to sit there and
what?
listen to this, keep my attention, when I also know how to make this screen go into my game and play that.
What? But look, and then you got your mom behind your shoulder, like, you
Yeah.
gotta do your work. Oh my goodness, man. You
Yeah.
know, so our art is so needed right now.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely. They don't have no time to express themselves. You know, no time to express themselves. And the way we grew up is so much different. They are so shut off and disconnected from the world. That's why when you heard that unity piece, about like all the different distractions that we have with social media and everything like that, and how that's really, you know, that's not connecting us at all. That's a divide.
right.
How it's, you know, segregating us and putting us all in these little bubbles alone, where we have to deal with our problems alone. We have to deal with our issues alone and all of our expressions alone. When I was growing up, we went outside.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked to our friends and we ran up and down the street. I knew my neighbors and I could tell my neighbor, my mom's getting on my nerves, and she could comfort me too. We had community. There is no community online. That's just a lot of things that you see that people expressing themselves, and then you get depressed off of what you heard from somebody else.
But truth, it's going to get worse with this whole new technology and metaverse. And
yeah,
because with that's going to be so extravagant that it's going to make real life boring.
So then how do we combat that? What do we do now? That's the question. You know,
Literally, you won't have to leave the house. You can be at a concert with these goggles or this helmet or whatever we got on our heads with this metaverse, and once you take it off, it's like, oh man, this is real life.
I don't know, man. I still love people. I love the interaction. Even when I do, when you know the whole shutdown and everybody was doing open mics online, I hate it.
Yeah.
I hated it. I really shut down until we could start going places again.
Yeah.
How
did you fare during that time? You know, being full-time artist.
That was a struggle. And that's another reason why I really want to talk to people about what artist entrepreneur looks like, because artists curate so many spaces, but all you see in those spaces are artists, and you're not getting anything out of that by creating spaces with artists, because artists will not support you. But what I've learned over the pandemic is the fans that I've created, that's what Raw Poetry Productions does. It gets people to want to come out. It's family based. So I had kids in the production, so people brought their grandmothers and their children. Instead of people coming out for date night, they came out for family night with 5 people versus 2. You know what I mean? So there's the difference in just that. You know, you learn that from Will Smith, where he could, you know, just by not cursing in any of his records, he was able to sell to the masses, you know. But all of those fans who knew that I was going through this sent me money. There were no artists sending me money. These were strictly my supporters, strictly people who came to my productions and I did something to change their lives, because they're not artists. They don't have that avenue to express themselves. They need us to express it for them, and they need to be able to feel it. So because they were able to feel it, they feel it so much that they will continue to support me when I cannot support myself, and that's what's necessary. And that was what was, I knew that, but I got to really see that through the pandemic and experience the love of having genuine supporters who were in my corner. Now I did a lot of creative workshops, creative writing workshops online. Those were easier. I picked up that business. I'm a hustler at best. So I watch people's kids. I do so many things, and I entertain. I will go and entertain old people. Oh, you can't take care of your grandma right now? I'll get over there. I'll be there.
Right.
So all of those different avenues, you can't just stop at one thing. If I teach poetry, how many ways can I teach it? Grandma wants to express herself too. Grandma wants to express herself too. So how can she do that? And how can I help her? It's not just about performing on stage. Poetry for me is for the people, not for the poets. That's what it is for me. So I was able to be fair, and I'm still on my own, so I ain't get put out nowhere. I'm still cool. But I was also able to meditate and be calm and be still, which was super necessary. Super necessary for me, because business keeps you moving. Before the pandemic, I had just did a big production at Goucher College, and they had booked us. We had over 700 people there, and everything was coming. And again, I'm not a team. I'm by myself. So imagine directing over 20 artists and still doing the business and still having to write and still performing and still teaching. I was doing all of that. And I needed a break. I needed to sit down. So
Poet Life University welcomes you to the world of creation, thoughts, expertise, and professionalism by offering technical knowledge, practical support, creative encouragement, and whatever it takes for you to create the poetry career that you've always desired, but never knew was possible. And the best part is we have professional poets from around the world as professors to teach you everything they've learned throughout their poetry careers. We are currently offering several 8-week live courses that will help you gain a deep understanding of poetry, become confident in your work as a poet and writer, learn how to start your own business with the help of an expert, enjoy the freedom that comes from being able to pursue what you love on your terms. Are you ready to take your poetry to the next level? Learn with others by doing for the future from the comfort of your home. Get in touch with us at www.poetlifeuniversity.com and enroll today.
That's why I say you and I are very similar. We're very alike. I try to build team, and I'm continuing to work on that. But sometimes having to depend on people is hard. Like I tried it with this first festival in July, and hired a event planner, and we had two total different definitions of event planner. And, I just had to let that person go in the middle of the planning experience, and had to literally take it on myself. But I'm glad that happened, because I now know how to plan and execute a festival. You see, so and right after the success of our first festival, another nonprofit had their eye on our festival and called and said, "Hey, we want our own personalized festival. Can you help put this on? I know you did it in 2.5 months. Can you do that again?" And that's awesome. I just completed that. Congratulations. The week of Thanksgiving, and that was for a nonprofit, Miriam's Kitchen in DC, where they service the homeless, and their guests are those experiencing homelessness, and we titled that Miriam's Kitchen's Guest Fest.
That's
And
awesome.
it was awesome, man. So you go through these things and realize why you went through them.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like at
Yeah.
first I'm like, oh my God, are you serious? I gotta plan this whole thing. And but on the back end of it, it was like that's how it was supposed to go down. So, you know, the building the team thing, and I'm like
Up and
so,
down with.
yeah, I'm
And
up and down with it.
you'll find, when I see you, I stay motivated,
Mm-hmm.
because you're like similar in what we do. So
Mm-hmm.
you continue to motivate me, and I'm like, okay, he's when I see you succeeding, and it's
For
like
sure.
I can do
For
some of
sure.
these things, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's motivating to see you work and to
Yeah.
see all the things that you are accomplishing. And like you said, it is necessary. And now we know how to articulate what we need.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's just like, okay, well, this is exactly what I want you to do. This, that, and that. Can you do that? Thank
Right.
you. And keep it pushing.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, I thought I did a good job with describing what I needed. Look, this is what I said. I said, this festival is like my wedding,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm the bride. I need, and this is my vision for my wedding. I need you to create that.
Okay.
And like, I've never planned a wedding before, right? So I need you to be the person that you said that you are, and
Right.
and make this day beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
you know and so I'm literally trying to find the words to describe what I need from that person.
Right.
And they're weeks and we're meeting weekly, and there's no report out, there's no green amber report. I'm like, okay. And I'm being patient. I'm being patient, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
not seeing anything. I made a call to so and so. I was like, okay, all right. I'm just have to, and then you learn how to make those grown person decisions,
Mm-hmm.
and those grown person conversations that you have to have.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause those are hard.
Yeah.
Firing somebody is hard.
Mm-hmm.
Letting somebody go is not a conversation that most people can have.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned that how to do that, you know.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah.
this game is definitely not for the faint of heart at all.
No. No, no, no. You really have to be strong minded, and because I'm such an artist, it's like I get so caught up in the business aspect, I miss my art. I get fed
Yeah, I
up
know.
because I'm like, I'm an artist and I can do this. I can do this, this, and that, and the third. All the things I'm teaching you or asking you to do,
Yeah.
I know how to do. So it's like I want to be on stage, but I have to be remote, and it's a battle. So like a lot of what I'm doing now is lessening up on so much of the production and just being the artist that I love to be,
Mm,
because that's I love the stage. I absolutely love the stage. And I love directing. I do. I love seeing all the things I can't do be done. You
right.
know, and I love directing it to the point where, that leadership that needs to be there, and making somebody see how great they can be. They're like right there, their potential is so much
Right.
beyond what they're doing right now. I'm like, oh, just do this. And they do it. And it's like, now look at how high you can fly. It's like, man, it's the most beautiful thing. But I just love being on stage. It's like an
So
adrenaline
that's
for
the
me.
part where we differ.
Yeah, that's
I'm
not for
just
you.
No, I'm a page poet. I tried the stage, and I just don't have the passion for it. And
Yeah.
so I would rather I would rather write and match passion for passion, right? So I would rather write something amazing and hand that off to somebody that has a passion for the stage and make magic that way. You know what I'm saying? My passion for their passion, and we bring this thing together and make magic, you know?
So you would absolutely be a dope like writer for a production.
Yeah. So when I first started, I thought, like a lot of poets think at first, that in order to be a poet, that you had to be on stage. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like conflicted because it's like, man, I don't like having to memorize and know when to do my hand gestures here. And you know, that was the work for me, you know, and it just didn't fulfill me. And so I was talking to my father one time, and he was just like, I get it, but all right, so what if you wrote the production and you partnered with actors and actresses that those who love the stage. I was like, oh snap, that can work. And so that's what I started to do. I started getting booked for to put on poetic production like yourself.
Okay.
And yeah, and come to find out, a lot of times organizations and whoever else sees that as more than just going up there to perform a poem.
Absolutely.
Like you said, like yourself, because you come with so much more, you're seen as more valuable because you're adding more value to that person's event or project, so I was like, and I want to get back into that because, as you just stated, it's hard to go at both things full throttle. And I say both things, I mean artist full throttle and the business side of things full throttle. So I haven't really done too much of anything poetically, because I just been the head of it, putting people on and so on and so forth. So I think, you know what, now that we're talking about it, I think I'm going to challenge myself to put something on in 2022 with
let's go, dude. Let's go.
Yeah,
we're just creating a whole bunch right here, aren't we? We just
I see, and this is what
this
is like why I started the podcast. I get to talk to dope people and poets like yourself, and because, and I don't know about you, but like I don't have these conversations just naturally because I don't have a circle like that. You know what I mean? Like I'm the creative person around me.
Yeah.
And everything creative, people come to me for it. You know what I'm saying? Right. So this is my opportunity to have this dialogue and this engagement. So I totally appreciate it. And because this has me come alive, as you can tell. So, yeah. But do you have any ideas for the Poet Life Fest community wise and just inspiration wise? What's coming to? Don't tell me much, just because I know you got something, but you got something brewing.
For the what my thoughts are for the production part that I'm bringing to you guys.
Yeah.
Yes. So I just did a production.
Where?
The one that just passed at Arena Players Theater in Baltimore.
Yeah.
And it was the last one I'm doing in Baltimore. So anytime a production happens, yes. So thank you for being the first outside of Baltimore production.
Nice.
Because as I said, I'm focusing more so on myself. And even with that production, a lot of times you catch me not being so in the production because I'm directing it. You may see me in one scene, one or two maybe. And then everybody's like, well, where were you the rest of the production? And I'm like, you're going to wait on it. And so that last one in Baltimore, I was in almost every scene. It was about me at that point. So I was able to just do all types of things that I normally would not do, which was cool.
Right.
but yes, I definitely have some ideas that we've done from that one, and things that we've done in the past. Like we've done so many different scenes and
Sure.
skits and things, and so yes, and I really want to focus on what people have been struggling with the most, which is mental health. So I've really got something great for that, to lift people's spirits. So I'm excited to share that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Now, when you say that was your last in Baltimore, do you mean you're looking outward? You're expanding to be commissioned to different cities and different states and countries?
Yeah. So and more so as myself than the production company. So, but the plan is to take myself, go everywhere I can go, and then as I go, I reach back, I grab a hand, and I start showing them what I've been doing, because they haven't heard of poetry productions to the way I do them either. You know, it's something different. I'll be able to offer something different to their city. So that's pretty much the plan, to go wherever I can and shut it down. Like what I did, like I told you, when I got back on the scene in Baltimore, that's what I was doing. Went everywhere and did all I could, everything I could do, and just until my first production was over 300 people there. Very first one. We had to go find more chairs. I was so like amazed by all the people who came out just for that first time. And then I didn't stop. That's how I knew I could quit my job. When I got 300 people who would come out for me, they didn't even know it was going to be other people there, because I was surprising them with the production. I just wanted to see if they would come out for me. And once I realized that, and I had a book that I could sell,
Right.
you know, I said that I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done.
You said
And
a mouthful with that book piece without even saying much.
yeah.
I think a lot of times poets write a book to write a book, but don't realize that having a book is like validation a lot of times, and validates the notion that you are a professional, right? Like public speakers, majority of them have a book. Yeah.
If you were to research it, they tell you should not become one unless you do.
There you go. Because that's my that's my degree almost, because it makes me an expert, even if you're not. It makes you an expert in that field. It's all about perception. Perception is truth a lot of times, so it is very key when you decide to become a professional artist or professional poet, to do the things that the other industries do, right? Don't recreate the wheel. This is the model.
Right.
When you're performing, even merch, because now with drop shipping, and it's so easy, because you want to create a community. Like you said, you have a community now. You have a community of people that will come and see your production, right? And you're not having to start over every time. You create a
Everything should be
community.
about
They'll
building.
go with you. Yeah.
Everything is about building. You build that community. You try not to lose the members already in there, and then add to them, to the community. That's more valuable to me than anything. Gaining that community of supporters. All of those people who never heard poetry before, come on over. Yeah. Come on over here.
Yeah.
That's more valuable than anything to me. Because once you got them, you got people to purchase everything all of that, to support everything you got going on.
Yeah.
You need those people.
Yeah. And that way you don't have to depend on an app. You don't have to depend on an Instagram, depend on As long as you have that foundational contact information, those phone numbers and those emails, and these are the things that you have to learn. And that's
Mm-hmm.
what you're saying earlier, that you want to be able to share with these newbies, these even a lot of the veterans that just don't know, the tricks of the trade. And so so you're not just like for years wondering why nobody will support you and this, that, and the third, why
Mm-hmm.
are they only paying me $50? And you know, um, um, and a lot of that comes with uh, uh, studying your craft and studying your industry.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to create an unforgettable experience at your next event with the Poet Life by booking a keynote poet. Poets excite your audience with motivating messages, charismatic delivery, colorful rhythm, powerful prose, and heart-filled stories with a style of spoken word that's tailored specifically to your event. The Poet Life has keynote poets in your city of all ages and backgrounds.
Visit thepoetlife.com to learn more and book your poet today.
Because that is the common denominator. When I speak to the greats, I studied, whether it's performance, delivery, or just the business behind it all.
Right.
It's so key.
Absolutely.
And you can tell those who have studied and those who have invested in their brand.
Right. Because they keep showing up. They're not going anywhere.
And on the other side of it, you can tell those who did not.
Yep. Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
And that's why I say I continue to stay motivated, because you keep showing up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You keep popping up with it, whether and with the Poetry Fest.
Yeah.
Another grand step. Something, and then that's just awesome. I love to see it.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
You know what it is, Truth? It is running to those things that scare you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, that festival scared the mess out of me, because just think of it like this. You have your name on a festival that you've never put on before. You're right. And so if it goes bad, it's a good chance that your business goes bad, because like if my company's name was Firefest, I mean, what is it? Remember that festival that Ja Rule and it was a Ja Rule and somebody, but it was a big festival in another country or on an island somewhere, and it went crazy bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think Firefest or something like that, man. And they were charging thousands of dollars for tickets to it, and they promised celebrities and posh.
And some people didn't show up and things like that.
Not just that, but like they were serving bologna sandwiches and this, and the tents were like, it was, matter of fact, they did a whole movie on it. They did a whole movie on.
I'm gonna have to look this up.
Go to Netflix. I think it's called the Fire Festival or something like that, and type in Ja Rule. So I was trying not to think of that the entire time, but because I am learning to become comfortable in uncomfortable situations.
Got you.
I'm learning that, because that's what's going to take you far, because growth comes in uncomfortable places.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So, I'm excited. I'm excited for 2022.
Yeah.
You know, I really am. Because I plan, I'm gonna get on that whiteboard right now when I get finished with this and start writing some stuff down, because I want to accomplish some scary things, you know. And because I do have a goal to be where you are. And what I mean by that, I mean I just turned 39 October 25th.
Congratulations.
And thank you. That it's you know, it's definitely a congratulations, because
Yeah.
folks are not living that
And
long, man.
making
You know what I'm saying? But by the end of 40, I plan to let that 9 to 5 go.
it.
So
Okay. Oh,
yeah,
I didn't even think you was working a 9 to 5 the way you carry
yeah,
this.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
You know, my 9 to 5 is a bill payer. That's
Okay.
that's all. It's a bill payer slash investor.
Okay.
And every 2 weeks, it invests into my business.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
They're
got it.
my biggest investor, you know.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say the same thing, because I don't. When somebody asks me what I do, Poet Life. I don't say that I'm a
Mhm.
business analyst for the government. I'm a government contract. I don't say all that,
Right. Got you.
because it has nothing to do with my purpose. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it keeps me sustained, you know, my family, my 3 kids and wife, and so on and so forth. And as I build this empire, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so I'll never, you know, look down on it. You know, I know that's popular too, to look down
Yeah.
on the 9 to 5. So no, I definitely appreciate what it does for me, but I know where I need to be, and that is fully focused on my work.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah.
You know. So, what's next for you? What's your 22 look like?
My 2022 is looking like a lot of traveling. That is my goal, to
Mm,
go anywhere I can, everywhere I can. So if you know of a place,
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you what.
send me.
I've been going to Atlanta often,
Hmm.
and man, have you been to Atlanta before?
I've been a few times.
The networking and the camaraderie out there, wanting each other to win out there, is on another level. I just got back. I flew out there for 24 hours.
Hmm.
One, it's inexpensive too. It's like $75 to $80 round
For a
trip.
flight. Okay.
Round trip. Yeah. And you know, when you book it, you know, ahead of time, like a month or so. And I've been, and it's so easy to connect with high earning, high whatever people out there, because they're just out there, like, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? And so names, you know, I met B Simone at an event, Country Wayne, so many different other people.
Right.
Um, and when I share with them what I do, they're like, "Yo, that's dope," you
Hmm.
know, because it's new for them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so I've connected with Ernestine Morrison and Jay Morrison. I went to their spot, the Legacy Center, the Black House, and they have a monthly, every first Thursday. It's called Green Lit ATL.
Hmm.
And in Hollywood or in production, to green light something means it's a go. Like a show, it's greenlit, right?
Okay.
It'll be on air soon, basically, right?
Okay.
So this event, it's like a networking event slash mentorship event that's like 3 hours, where they teach you how to use social media, or bring your production, and we'll help you build it, or whatever it might be.
Okay.
And there's writers in there, producers, directors, and their motto is don't wait, create.
Okay.
Or someone in this room is your missing link, you know. And so I went to for my first time. I went out there this past Thursday, and I'll be there once a month, starting this past Thursday.
Okay.
Even if it's for 24 hours.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna have to get out there.
No, for real. Like we should fly out. We should fly out there.
I'm with it.
Listen, I'll share the information with you. Because when you go, you're gonna be like, yo, this is life right here.
Yeah.
Not to say we don't have it here. But you know, when you go to it's just different when you go to a different place and you're welcomed. Like, yo, let's work.
Yeah. Let's do that. Yeah.
I'm gonna share the information with you for sure. Because that first Thursday in January, which is the 6th, I'll be out there, man.
Okay. And January is my birthday month, so I'm also excited.
Really? What's your birthday?
The 14th.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
My oldest, her 7th birthday is on the 22nd.
Okay. Yeah. That's what's up.
And the festival is 2 weeks right after your birthday.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna be. We going crazy.
Let's do it. Let's do it. This is what I love. I love it. I love building with like-minded people.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. Thank you so much for, spending your Monday, with me and building and just discussing this thing that we love. And I look forward to continuing to work with you.
Yes.
If you could inspire somebody, with a closeout message, what would that be?
Closeout message. No one asks a star what color it is when it shines. It just shines. I want us to just continue to be the star you are. Stop worrying about what that color may be to get you there. You are who you need to be to get you there. That's all you need is you. And to do what you love to do. Do what you love to do. And that's going to take you further than you ever expected. So for all of my creators, all of my people full of passion, I just want you all to continue following it, continue following your light, continue following your purpose, and continue to be a blessing to others, and that blessing will fulfill you. So that's all I have to say.
I love it.
For the day, and I'm just grateful. Thank you for having me. I enjoyed all of this to get on the same brainwave with somebody. I hope we continue to work, and I'm excited. I'm excited for this work. So
awesome. I appreciate you. Where can they find you, and what do you have coming up next?
So this Saturday, first of all, you can follow me everywhere at DA Truth, DA Poet. That is on all social media platforms. You can email me there too at gmail.com. What I have going on is that I'm collaborating with a young lady by the name of Diana Escalera, who has a business called I Survive.
She's
she's awesome. She's a plethora of beautiful things. She has an event, Boss Movement, and then Mending Our Men. This event will be collaborated this Saturday, and we will be I will be doing a motivational talk on how it's okay to not be okay, and so along with some other very special speakers. So I think it's a free event. I don't want to mislead you, but follow me. All the details will be there. And there's plenty more things you'll see on my page too of what I got going on. So awesome. As an artist mind and a business mind, it'd be a million things so going on. Awesome. But yes, that's the most recent thing coming up.
Awesome. Awesome. Y'all go check her out. Check her out like right now. You can see
Yeah.
her IG right there. The Truth, the Poet. Just listen to me when I tell you she is the truth. Trust me when I tell you. Just from experience, you know, I don't I don't work with folks who aren't, you know, at least not twice. You know what I'm saying? So listen,
Understood.
yeah, for real. You know, you can get past me once, but you
Yeah.
know, but
Yeah.
look, everybody, no matter where you are, no matter who you are, check us out on our website, thepoetlife.com, for more information about what we have going on for the festival. Fly out, drive out. You don't want to miss this. It's January 29th. As we just spoke, we're going to have an awesome production.
Yes.
And it's going to be, I can't wait for that. I just can't wait. You know, time can't move fast enough for that to be my first time experiencing the Truth's work. I've experienced her performance because I've booked her before, but not on the production level. So I can't wait for that. So listen, everybody, it's the Poet Life Podcast. If you need some more gear, go to poetlifegear.com. This is one of them that I'm wearing. Put some respect on my poem. Y'all remember that with Birdman on Breakfast Club. Put some respect on my name. So
I'm gonna need me one of them. I'm gonna need me one of them.
I got you. So everybody, it's the Poet Life Podcast. Thank you all for checking us out and look forward to the next one. All right, folks, we're out.
Peace.
Truth.
Introducing the Poet Life Podcast. Go check it out today on your favorite platforms, including iTunes, Apple Music, and the website, thepoetlife.com.
Find a way.